cash position typically refers to the amount of cash a company has at a point in time. So if you freeze time, if you typically look at a balance sheet of a company, it'll say as of December 31st, 2022, or as of whatever point in time it is, usually at the end of the quarter. And the first line you'll see in a balance sheet will be cash and cash equivalent, which refers to on that day, if you were to go look at all the balanced bank accounts for that company, checking accounts, cash accounts, and all the different currencies around the world, wherever they might be operating, and you were to convert it all into US dollars, you would say, this is how much cash this company has at this point in time. Let's say it's $1 billion. That means on that day, the cash position of the company is $1 billion. Now, tomorrow, we might pay some bills. We also might get paid from another customer. So that the amount of cash is going to change every single day. At that point in time, this is how much cash and cash equivalent a company has. Now, on the balance sheet, that's typically the first line. You'll also notice there are other lines because the official definition of cash and cash equivalent is cash, as we know what it is. Cash equivalent, meaning a financial instrument, a stock, a bond, etc., that could be converted into cash or intends to be converted into cash within 90 days. Now, sometimes companies will have financial instruments such as a bond, a 6-month bond, or treasury bonds, or whatever it may be, that have a longer liquidity of 90 days. Maybe it's a 6-month bond. So you'll see another line under a balance sheet that will say cash and cash equivalent, and right below it you might see short-term investments. And it might be a lot of money. This just means it's a separate bucket where we've put money into these longer-term financial instruments. So cash position would typically refer to how much cash you have, cash and cash equivalent. If you have short-term cash, you might include how much short-term cash is available. But think of cash position of how much cash does the company have at that point in time. I like to think about it as an individual. Think about, well, how much cash do you have right now? Think about it in your own life. You would say, maybe you have a little bit of cash on you right now. Hardly anybody carries cash around, but maybe you've got $20 on you. Then maybe you look at your checking account and you see how much you have there. Maybe you have a long-term savings account and you can look on how much you have there. Maybe you got a little money sitting under your mattress. Add it all up, that's your cash position today. It's very similar for a company. How much cash do they have? How much cash do they have invested in longer-term assets? How much cash do they have maybe in petty cash? Add it all up today, this is the company's cash position. So changes in cash position is simply how the cash position of a company changes from one period of time to another. So cash position at the beginning of the year, say for your company, is $1 billion. This includes cash and cash equivalent. Maybe it includes some short-term assets. Then you look at the end of the year and maybe your company has $1.5 billion. Change in cash position in this example is simply it went from $1 billion to $1.5 billion. Now, if you were to look through the balance sheet or the cash flow statement, we can see exactly where the inputs of cash came from, the outputs, and how we calculate that difference of $500 million. But changing cash position is simply cash position at the beginning of a period, cash position at the end of a period, and how much it changed.